And hopefully something I say to you will be of value to you, and that you'll most importantly take action with it. One of the things I find most important when you're doing business, or especially in life, because at the end of the day our business is only a vehicle for our life, is to learn from people who have what you want. And you will see why it was necessary for me to do that, because I wasn't always in a great place. And sometimes when you're in a bad place and you need to get to a good place, the traditional strategies don't work. It's almost like, if you want to bake a cake, to me it makes more sense to go down to a top baker, a Michelin star chef, than it does to the local cook. Does that make sense to you? So in order for me to get to where I am, I actually met up with what we would consider as the world's greatest thinkers. And I had no agenda, so they were happy to teach me, and I basically had no choice but to either put it into practice or not. So I'm going to just show you at the moment the kind of life that I have, which is a general, pictorial representation. There's my little boy. Here's Pat, who is right here beside me. And I just love to do anything that makes me feel alive. I love to do anything that makes me feel calm. And I truly believe that we should all live our lives the way we want to live our lives, but to be our best selves. These are the kind of people that I work with. If you've anyone here heard of The Secret? Okay, The Secret, if you don't know about it, it was a law of attraction thing. In other words, what you think about most comes about. So this guy here is from The Secret. Brian Tracy here. Brian is very well known in the business world. He's written 76 bestsellers. John Boyle, many of you know Boyle Sports. John is a very good friend of mine, and so on. So these are different people that I work with, and that was me. So here you can see I was at 5 stone, and that's half the weight probably I am now. I don't weigh myself anymore, but this used to be me. And this is just a graphic representation of being stuck. Now, if we were all totally honest in this room, how many people here would admit to being stuck either in their life or their business at some point? And probably more so than you let on to the public. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It is absolutely okay to be stuck. It is not okay to stay there. But that is a choice. So here we have our choices are to empower us or disempower us. There are basically our two choices. Life events will happen regardless. And if you've had life events up to now, more life events are going to happen. But it's up to you what you do with those life events. So what are you doing with yours? Whatever you're doing with yours, whether you're allowing them to empower you or disempower you, it's going to impact your results. It's as simple as that. And are you reaching your full potential? If you're not, how about you be open today to increasing it by 1%? I want you to put your hand up if you're okay today about increasing your potential and being 1% better today. Is anybody not wanting to do that? Put your hand up now or forever stay silent. If you improve 1% per day, and this is what I had to think, if I did that consistently over a year, it's 365 times better this time next year. So you don't sometimes have to focus on the big actions. You don't have to look out there at the big guys and think, what are they doing? And I'm such a fool, I can't do it, I'm not able to do it. Why have they got such a big company and I don't? Here's one of the questions I asked, and one of the questions that I get asked a lot. What is the difference between somebody who has a massive, successful business and somebody in the same industry who has a small business, yet perhaps the one with the massively successful business has no education beyond 15, isn't academically as we would consider intelligent, they're not born with a silver spoon in their mouth? What is the difference? And it's consistent over time, the answer that I got. So to me, if I get the same answer over and over and over again by different people that are getting the results that I want, it makes sense to me that they're probably right. So it is the top 1% mindset. It is all about your mindset. If you ask Richard Branson, you ask John Boyle, you ask any of them, what makes you different from your opposition, your competition, or whoever, they will tell you it's how I use my mind. Skills can be learned. Do you honestly think they know every aspect of their company? And here's the beautiful thing, you don't have to either. You just need to have the right mind behind your company and then get the correct people to do the mechanics of the company. Any skill can be learned if you practice often enough. The people who don't focus on their mind are the people who don't get to that place. So I would just ask you, and you don't have to say it out loud, but I would ask you to commit today to committing to yourself and your business, and if you don't have a business and want to get into business, commit also that you are going to be the best version of yourselves, and any skills that you need to learn along the way, it's okay to do it at your own pace. And those that you don't know, delegate. Now, are you open to hearing a very odd concept? But it is the concept of the 1%. And that is why most people haven't heard about it, and most people don't use it. Most people think that it's daft. So you can either be most people, or you can be the 1%. This is something the 1% are doing consistently. And I'm going to show you through an analogy, because I don't like to sound intelligent, to get you to understand the message. But I ask you that from anything from today is that you take this concept and you use it straight away. Here we have a torch. A torch is just a bunch of metal, plastic, glass. It's a bunch of stuff. Here we have batteries. This bunch of stuff does not work without these energy batteries, does it? The only way we can make this shine is to put batteries in it. Now, if we have a small torch, we'll need a small amount of energy. If we have a big torch, we need a colossal amount of energy. That's common sense. I want you to look at this battery. And 1.5 volts. That's basically a measure of electricity. Our cells are 1.4. So here's a few things about our cells. 1.4 volts. They have a negative voltage inside, a positive voltage outside. The average human being has 50 trillion cells. That means we have 70 trillion volts of energy, like batteries, inside of us that you're not tapping into. The people who are the top 1% understand this. If you ask them their interest, they will tell you physics and quantum physics is one of them. They'll be very interested in the mind. Their library book collection is probably 90% to do with mindset. So just try and understand this concept, even if it's weird. You may look like a bunch of stuff, but your energy in motion. We are a network of cells. If you look at your hand, it looks solid. But now, because we have the research, we can see that it's not. And we're in continuous vibration. All vibration means is how quick a frequency is moving. Have you ever seen like an EEG where they do like the scans and the waves go up and down like that? That's all it is frequency. If you have a phone, it operates on frequency. This mic is just a bunch of stuff until something goes into it and the sound vibrates. And that's how we get sound. We can accept this thing through bunches of stuff that we're used to, yet we don't see it in our minds. This, if you understand this and get it, trust me, your business will go through the roof very, very quickly. Look at all these words. If someone's to say to you, write down the words we associate with motivation or goals, you will probably say some of these words: motivation, decision, production, operation, expression. You've probably used some of them today. Even some of them are probably your business name. What do they all have in common? Ion. An ion is a charged particle. We're doing it and saying it and we don't even realize. I'm going to show you an experiment very quickly, and I only have a short amount of time, so I want to get this concept as basic as I can to you. Here you'll see a video, and in the video you'll see a tone generator, which basically is a metal plate that we will put frequency into. In other words, we'll charge it up. So as you can see, this is it. It is neutral. It is a bunch of stuff. It does nothing. The same way as of our cell, if we didn't stimulate it, would be nothing. It becomes dead. So we charge it up. And energy is also measured, or frequency is measured in a thing called hertz, so Hz. And as I said, you don't need to know the complicated stuff, just get the concept. So all we're going to do is put frequency in at different levels and watch how a neutral substance, in this case sand, starts to take on a different pattern. So we're going to turn it up, and here's the sand at 345 hertz. This is what happens when we put power into it. It creates that pattern. Now we're going to change the tone, and we're going to put in, or change the frequency, should I say, and we're going to put in 1033, and there's the pattern. This is just simple science, yet we're ignoring it, but the top 1% aren't. There you have 1,820 hertz. So really the design you have is the level of energy you're putting into it. How complicated, how elaborate, how flamboyant you want the design for your life to be is entirely up to you, but it comes down to frequency and energy. Every single thing has frequency. In this room, you have frequency. You have your own frequency. The speakers have frequency. The TV over here has frequency. Microwaves have frequency. Yet we tend to ignore it. The 1% don't. Cells also resonate with like frequency. This means the people that you are interacting with are directly affecting you and your business. If you're having a crap day, how productive are you? If you meet that one person and you look at them and you go, oh God, here they are. I really don't want to talk to them. The only difference is their vibe. Vibe is short for vibration. If we're in a good place and we say, oh my God, there was such a great atmosphere, or God, they really buzz me up, it's all to do with vibration and frequency. I'm going to just show you this very simply with an analogy of a phone so you get it. Each phone has different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5G. Depending on which one it is, will predict how complicated and what you can do with it. So I want you to imagine using your phone, and we do this every day. When we use our phone, it immediately sends out a frequency. We cannot see that frequency, but it sends it out. Sometimes obstacles get in the way, things of different frequencies get in the way, or environmental factors such as storms get in the way. Now, this is what is meant to happen with our phone. A signal is sent out, it hits off an antennae, and straight away it starts to look for matching frequency. In other words, things that will be on the same wavelength. You've ever heard of that? It searches amongst a huge network of frequency. And when it finds the one that matches yours, it'll connect with it and then become more refined and connect with the one that you're trying to call. So think about that as your mind. We send out a message through your business or person. It hits off your environment, the people in it. It goes through a transmission box, which basically is liken it to our brain, our beliefs, our filters, our values. So I really had to battle to find the quick result or the quick way to a massive result. And in order for me to do this, I had to understand my environment and what was going on within it. The psychology stuff, I'm a qualified psychologist, the psychology stuff didn't make enough sense to me. So I had to look for people who were getting what I wanted and put my pride aside, put my ego aside, put the, oh, I know everything aside, and learn from them, just like I'm teaching you today. If you think you know it all, you don't. Neither do I. But take what I'm saying and try it out. To empower ourselves, we must become aware of our energetic field. And it is time to shine. We are born with a frame of knowledge. This is the beliefs we have, all of the representations that we have of other people, how we feel our businesses go, how we feel our expectations are of ourselves. These are all our frame of knowledge. And the results that you're currently getting, you're getting them because they are within your current frame of knowledge. So on your chairs, there should be a piece of paper, a white piece of paper. Have you got it? Okay. If you haven't, it's okay. But for those of you who do, you'll see 9 dots. Draw 9 dots very quickly, because I don't have a lot of time. And I want you to try, without picking your pen up off the page, and this is actually Pat Slattery gave me this exercise to use, draw 4 lines through all of those dots without picking up your page or your pen. Anyone done it? Okay, some of you don't have a pen. I was only given a short amount of time, so apologise. But let's look how you do it. You have to think outside the box. It doesn't happen within your own frame of knowledge. We used to think that our hands were solid. Now we know that they're not. In the frame of what you think you know, science is now disproving it. Science is now showing us through scans, MRIs, EEGs, PETs, all of those scans are showing us that what we thought we know isn't true. We thought the earth was flat, but it's not true. So you need to look at what works for you. We mentioned the law of attraction. Wishing for something, wishing for that amazing business is not enough. You have to take action. Vibration. All vibration is energy. Put energy behind what you do. Set your goal and have a why. If you have a why behind what you want to do, you will do it 10 times faster. My why was my parents used to cry when they see me sick and they knew they couldn't make me better. I had to find a way, no matter what, to put enough energy behind what I wanted to do to get the results that I got. Become very conscious of your thoughts. We have approximately, the reckon, scaling it up, 70,000 thoughts a day. If I was to ask you not to think negative for 24 hours, how many people here would think they could do it? Try it tonight. You're not allowed to have one negative conversation. You're not allowed to say one negative comment either to somebody else or to yourself. Do you think that's possible? Try it and see how negative you actually have become. Become super conscious of your thoughts. Look for what it is that you want. What you focus on is what you're going to get. If you focus right now, think of a pink elephant and a green ball. You thought about it. Don't think of a red house. You thought about it too. Do not think of a girl in a yellow dress. Don't. Your brain doesn't understand the difference at a neurological level between what you say don't or what you say do. It just takes the information, internalizes it, and your cells respond. So if you're taking on all the time focusing on other people's crap that comes into your business, or you're focused on your own crap, what are the results that you're going to get? Your body is going to internalize it. That's who you're going to be mentally and physically. Choose your team wisely. Do not be around people who don't make you feel good. Your family, you can have nothing. The reality is, and this is a huge disclaimer, you can keep your family alive, even if you don't like them, but spend time with people who you really like. People, and if you don't know them, seek them out like I did. And lastly, develop your mind. You have so much more potential than you realize. Today, all I want you to do is to take action. That's it, 1% action. Every single day, small steps, and you will get colossal results. Stop thinking about the big guy or the big lady. Start thinking about what you can do and what you are best at. And keep doing it, and keep doing it, and keep doing it. And focus only on that. And bring the only people you should have in your lives that you have conversations with regularly are people who focus on your goal. And when I say that, they don't have to focus on the same goal, but be around people who will support your goal. If you don't know them, find them, read about them, do their workshops, engross your mind in them. Your body and your mind will physically respond to whatever you put to it. The level of energy that you put behind your goal and behind your life is the result that you're going to get. And that is what the 1% in the world do that perform at the top. You can choose to do it or not. Thank you.